Uh, this might sound delusional to some people, but believe it or not, when I was in my 20s and the 2000s and all the work you see, all the scripted stuff you see online that I did back then in my demos and sketch comedy and wrestling and all that stuff, I was actually pitching myself as a comedy lead, you know. Um, I I've told you before in other videos and other segments and stuff that I went to Hollywood in 2010, 2011. Um, Nothing was ever on the table. No contracts, no cash, no. I didn't sign with any agencies. I just went out there to see what's what. Some chats, some handshakes, and I heard what I needed to hear at 28 years old, and I didn't shit on anybody. I didn't piss on anybody. I didn't blow it. I didn't screw it up. There was nothing to screw up. It was just a casual extended stay. Um, it's kind of a tough thing to talk about because, for one thing, I don't have a pot to piss in. I don't have two dimes to rub together. And I would need a lot to pull this off, to go out there and be an actual character actor. Now that I'm older and just do the character, the uncle, the father, the crooked cop, character actor, maybe serial killer, whatever. The comedy lead, the young fat comedy lead thing kind of went bye-bye. So it's 15 years later. And that town changed a lot. LA changed a lot. The dynamics have changed a lot as far as people self-producing on the internet and producing for Netflix and all that kind of stuff. The pay raise or the pay scale is a lot lower than it used to be. So those are just kind of excuses. And if the money ever did show up for me, I would seriously consider setting up shop in LA and buying property and being there for the long haul and going into character acting and getting legit training for a year or two and then just roll it out gradually and not just jump right into it like, a lot of people do and get overwhelmed and screw it up and, hurt themselves ultimately. It's a lot to think about. And I have been thinking about it. The problem is, leading up to 14 years ago when I retired from comedy or underground comedy, whatever you want to call it, is I've basically put a camera in front of my face by myself and motherfucked the universe for 14 years out of anger, out of jealousy, out of hurt. And I guess I don't regret that because I also put what was left of my catalog online too from my scripted days of comedy. So I don't necessarily regret any of that because it was something that I wanted to do for a while. It's just, from an underground comedian to an aging underground comedian who motherfucks the universe on the internet for 15 years and then tries to get a gig in Hollywood, Is that how that's done? I mean, I guess today that's how it's done, right? I'd have to really consider it and weigh out the pros and cons. But I think now that the thought is actually in my head and I'm going over it and just looking at the next 10 to 20 years of my life and seeing what I want to do and what what I want to say goodbye to and what I would actually want to pursue now that I'm in my 40s, not in my 20s and, not giving a fuck and all that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to suspend all of my JP Ward content on the internet. I'll just lock all my accounts and delete all my accounts that I can delete and and just let it be. And just put it on the back burner and just let it be what it is. And then, a couple years from now, if something does happen or money does show up or whatever you want to call it, come back and revisit that, or these candid videos or the motherfuck universe, videos. I mean, but I think for right now, while I don't know what the future is, I should probably just, halt all party crashing. I did underground comedy for 12 years, and I call myself an underground comedian because I was never signed. I never did HBO. I never sold out Madison Square Garden. I was a public access darling from Connecticut at best, if you really want to put it at something. I mean, at least until YouTube came out in late 05. And then, and then I was just an underground comedian because everybody could see it. But I had a lot of people help along the way, people that were in my stuff and people I worked with, people that schooled me, smartened me up, people that let me crash on their couch, all that kind of stuff while I was pursuing this stuff. But yeah, I think for now I gotta cease operations, at least as is, JP Ward, as in JP Ward motherfucks the universe, which is basically my gimmick on the internet, all over the place, Twitter, YouTube, Photobucket, Instagram, whatever social media is out there, which I don't even know anymore. So you'll be hearing more from me later, hopefully, in some capacity. Not sure what, but I don't know what this will blossom into, but we'll find out.